Plants communicate with people differently than, well, we communicate with each other. There's no words. Of course, there's not going to have be a conversation and there's no logic involved. What they do is they communicate through sensation and energy. There's a feeling, maybe a shift in the atmosphere around you, could be a sudden calmness in your body. Maybe it's a subtle emotional response you can't fully, logically explain. Most people move past these moments way too quickly. Shamanic traditions do not. They understand that plants are not passive. They are living, energetic presences with distinct frequencies, rhythms, and qualities. In today's Mystical Minds, we're exploring plant spirit communication, what it is, how it works, and how to begin building a deeper relationship with the natural world around you. Because the earth is always communicating. Most people have simply forgotten how to listen. And how you doing, everyone? I'd like to welcome you to the Mystical Minds podcast. I'm your host, Allie Thies. I'm the creator of Out of Body Ecstasy and also Soulful Connections, with over 40 years of experience as a psychic energy worker and a soul connection specialist. Over the years, I've written 9 books, including my latest, The Constant Cravings of Soulful Connections: Satisfy the Unshakable Power of Soulmates and Twin Flames. I've been walking the mystical path since childhood, and now I help others reconnect with their true selves through intuitive reading, soul work, and the safe, sacred space of the Mystical Minds community. This podcast is your invitation to explore the magical, metaphysical, and the wildly mysterious side of life. From energy healing to spirit guides, soulmates to sacred rituals, nothing is off limits here. So grab your tea, light a candle, and let's dive into the mystery together. And yes, you heard correctly in the introduction. My book, The Constant Cravings of Soulful Connections, has officially been published. Woohoo! I'm so excited. This thing was 23 years in the making, and it is finally out of my head, off of my computer, and into people's hands where I hope it is helpful. It explores the deep pull of soul level relationships, the connections, of course, that awaken us. They challenge us. Oh, they challenge us, transform us, and sometimes, like with myself, they completely change the direction of our lives. So I dive into soulmates, twin flames, karmic relationships, telepathic and energetic connections, intuitive recognition, emotional and spiritual transformation through connection, and so a lot more. But most importantly, this book explores why certain connections affect us so deeply and how these relationships can become catalysts for healing, growth, and self awareness. And as I said earlier, 23 years. It feels wonderful to have it out in the world. But with the release of the book, this also opens the door for future things I'm going to be doing, teaching classes, and the upcoming Soulful Connections Academy, where we'll continue exploring soul level relationships in a grounded, emotionally aware, and spiritually aligned ways. I want to send a thank you out to everyone who has supported my work. Listen to the Ask Allie podcast, this current Mystical Minds podcast, everyone who's joined the Mystical Minds group, and who's walked this journey with me. I am so excited that this book is finally here. You can find a link for it below in the show's notes. Right now, it is on Amazon for Kindle and paperback. Now, let's move forward to the card of the week. I'm using Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. And it doesn't matter if you're listening to this episode today or if you wait a few days, weeks, months, years. This card I'm pulling right now is for you for the week, okay, regardless of when you listen to this. So let's do a little bit of shuffling. See if I can do this around the cats. We've got Xena. Hello, Xena Louina. Xena and Sweet Tapia Mamma Mia, as I call her, are both sitting here next to me as usual when I'm doing this podcast. All right, so let's pick a card. See what we got going on for the week. I am hoping it's a really good week for everybody. All right, let's pick this one. What do we have? The Ringmaster of Scrutiny. This week it's all about discernment. So use discernment when making choices. It's finding your clear vision and looking into the details of things. So this is not an overview type of week. It is jumping in, figuring out details, figuring out where you're going, making choices, thinking about making your choices. Um, it's not really a uh, gut level type intuitive type choice. It is could be an intuitive hit, but then you think about it, okay? And think it over, mull it, find your clear vision, make your future plans, right? The details, and write everything down. I'm a big opponent of that. Write everything down. So that is the card for the week. Now we're moving on to the mystical item of the week, which is one of my favorite herbs. It is rosemary. Rosemary has long been associated with clarity, remembrance, protection, and energetic purification. Across many traditions, it has been used in ritual, healing, and spiritual work. Energetically, rosemary supports mental clarity, which Lord knows I need, energetic cleansing, focus and awareness, strengthening intuition, and connecting intention with action. This is a beautiful plant ally for beginning plant spirit work because its energy is steady, recognizable, and it's grounding. You can work with rosemary by, well, placing fresh rosemary near your workspace. I've got some near my desk right now. You can brew it into a tea. You can use it in meditation or a ritual. Maybe gently crushing the leaves and noticing the energetic shift in your body. If you don't have the plant readily available, you can always get rosemary essential oils and use them. All right? Plant spirit work, it's through paying attention. So your mind can't be off in the past. It can't be thinking about the future. You got to be in the here and now to really get the benefits of plant medicine. All right. So today we're talking about plant spirit communication, listening to the wisdom of nature. So what is plant spirit communication? It is the practice of becoming aware of the energetic qualities carried by a plant. It doesn't mean plants communicate through language, as I mentioned earlier, the way humans do. They communicate through response, through energy, through subtle shifts, okay? Sensation. They change awareness in your nervous system. And every plant carries a distinct energetic pattern, okay? You can see this physically. Some plants they'll stimulate your energy, others soothe, some protect, and others open awareness. Plant spirit work recognizes these qualities exist energetically as well. For example, go back to rosemary. It often feels clarifying and sharpening. Lavender tends to soften emotional intensity. And another one of my favorites, mugwort, frequently changes dream activity and symbolic awareness. These responses have been observed across generations and traditions. The key point here is this: plant spirit communication begins with a relationship. Okay? The more consistent time you spend with a plant, the easier it becomes to notice its energetic qualities. Over time, the interaction becomes more familiar, and the familiarity sharpens perception. Me and my aloe vera plant, we've been going through a lot lately. I can't get her feeling well. And I can't figure out why. I keep hoping that she'll um tune me in to more of what's going on with her, but I think maybe she's just tired. I've had her ever since I lived in Worcester. Um, so I mean, God, I left Worcester in 2015. So the aloe vera is about 11 years old. Maybe it's just tired. It's possible, but I want her to do better. All right. So, how do most people experience plant energy? All right. A lot of people respond to plant energy every day. They just don't frame it quite that way. Think about how different environments affect you. A dense forest can often create calmness. Fresh herbs can feel energizing. Certain floral scents immediately shift emotion or memory. They're not imaginary responses. Your nervous system constantly interacts with your environment. Plants influence scent perception, emotional regulation, memory association, stress response, and attention and focus. Plant spirit work brings conscious awareness to those interactions. Instead of moving through nature automatically, you begin observing your responses intentionally. This changes the experience completely. For example, you may notice your breathing slows down around certain plants. Your mind becomes quicker and quieter, believe it or not, they can do both, in nature. Specific plants consistently affect your mood the same way. Patterns matter. That's why you have to be present as well to notice. The practical question then becomes, what changes in me when I interact with this plant consistently? It's your answer. So, what's the importance of observation and repetition? Plant spirit communication develops through observation over time. There's no intensity to it. It's not dramatic like everything else in our lives. It's observation. One interaction may not reveal a whole hell of a lot, but repeated interaction often does. This is why traditional plant work involves consistency in relationship building. When working with a plant, observe how your body feels, how your emotions shift, what thoughts become stronger or quieter, whether your dreams change, or maybe your energy feels heavier or can change to lighter. When you pay attention, you're gonna notice over several days, right? Repetition allows patterns to emerge, and patterns help you distinguish between random reactions and consistent energetic responses. This makes the practice grounded instead of abstract. All right. Now, shamanic traditions approach plant work through respect and reciprocity. I can never say that word. The relationship, it's not one sided. Plants are not treated as objects to consume mindlessly. They are approached as living presences within the ecosystem. This could look like expressing gratitude, caring for the plant, harvesting mindfully, spending time in observation before actually using the plant. This changes the energetic quality of the interaction, and attention changes your relationship with that plant. Relationships changes perception. Many traditions intentionally slow down before working with plants because slowing down increases awareness. Okay? This creates a deeper connection not only to the plant itself, but to the environment around you. So, how can you begin your own plant spirit practice? You don't need to be elaborate and get some type of rare herb you got to order from a whole different country. Just start simple. Choose one plant ally. That's it. Choose one. Work with it consistently for a week. It could be rosemary, lavender, mint, basil, mugwort. Could be my aloe vera, or maybe even a tree you pass every day. Just spend a few quiet moments with it each day. That's it. And observe your emotional state, your physical sensations, your breathing, your thoughts, and then write down what you notice. The goal is not to create a mystical performance. This goal is for you to be familiar and familiar with the plant and for the plant to be familiar with you. Okay? The more familiar you become with it, you'll notice the subtle energetic shifts and the easier it's going to be to recognize those. So, your soul work of the week is building relationships through observation. And it's choosing one of those plants. Any plant you want to. Um, Spend 5 minutes a day with it in quiet observation. Just take a look at it. Notice how you feel emotionally and how your body responds, what thoughts arise, and what shifts in your energy. At the end of those 5 minutes, just write down the plant, the date, your observations, and any repeated patterns. By the end of the week, reflect back on what changed in my awareness, what felt consistent, how did slowing down affect my perception, what plant energy felt the most supportive to me. All right? Plant spirit work strengthens through relationships. All right? And relationships strengthen through attention. The earth is not a silent place. It is communicating constantly through rhythm, sensation, and presence. Plant spirit wisdom is not all about escaping reality. It is about reconnecting with it more deeply. This month in Mystical Minds, we are remembering older ways of relating to energy, nature, and awareness. Next week, we'll explore the sacred drumming, rhythm, and altered states, and why repetitive sound has been used across shamanic traditions for centuries. Until then, guys, slow down, observe more closely, and listen to what the natural world may already be showing you. Sometimes wisdom does not arrive through words, it can arrive through presence. And that's a wrap here on this episode of Mystical Minds. I hope it sparks something inside of you, a memory, a knowing, maybe a nudge from your soul. And don't forget your soul work this week. You'll find it under resources for episode. If you love what we explored today, please don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs a little magic in their life. If you're craving more, join the Mystical Minds group. It's a safe, sacred space to explore everything from energy work to soul connections, intuition, spirit guides, and more. You'll find support and your people. You can also book a private reading with me, of course, anytime, energy work or soul session at outofbodyecstasy.com. I've got you whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or maybe a deeper connection to your soul path. And until next time, guys, stay grounded, stay curious, and remember endless possibilities, infinite you.